The great debate continues. I've been talking with a lot of people about the differences and what to expect from traditional publishing route to self-publishing route. And today I'm using an Instagram post where I shared the differences between the royalties that I make from a book through a traditional publisher and books that I've self-published. And I want to just continue the conversation. So I am excited you're here and we're going to dive right in. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Written Compass. I have really been enjoying a lot of conversations myself and my team are having lately with potential clients and even new clients who are coming in to say yes to themselves, their words, their book. And one of the things that has been showing up lately that I want to speak to for a bit on the podcast today is just the continued understanding and sometimes misunderstandings between the experience of traditional publishing and self-publishing. And here's the thing, I always want to make sure everyone fully understands. This is not a matter of right and wrong. We have lots of options. We are in a world now where anyone, for better or worse, anyone can write and publish a book. Now, with that comes lots of different things that we want to consider. And I recently did a post on Instagram. You can go check it out at @ShaynaHartman_, where I put two pictures up. One is from a traditionally published book. It was a collaborative book that I published in 2008, Thinking Out Loud on Paper, and my royalty check that came, 59 cents. Now, I receive this every 60 to 90 days or so. And I think the most I've ever received from this was about $20 in one particular royalty earning. And then my second image was of the most recent earnings in a month for the books that I've self-published. And that amount was $223.86. So a little different. Now, why am I sharing this? A lot of people feel like there is this clout and extra street cred when you traditionally publish. And that may very well be true for whatever field that you're in. For instance, we recently started working with this amazing PhD. He's a professor. He does amazing work in gender and queer studies in seminary schools that he teaches in. His work is fabulous. Now, he is in the world of what we call academia in higher education. And in that world, traditional publishing is what counts. Now, again, for right or wrong, better or worse, that's what people feel like. I think it comes from the idea that when you self-publish, you don't work with anyone, you don't get any support. And obviously, the writers that we work with, that's absolutely not true. We have obviously two PhDs, myself and my fellow writing coach, Dr. Cindy Urbanski, who support our clients, our writers along the entire way, giving constant feedback, in-depth feedback, guiding them, supporting them. We have professional editing that we do from another PhD who has also published several times. We have beautiful graphic interior and cover designers who also have published themselves and worked in the publishing industry. So it's really this interesting thing that the only way you can have support is through traditional publishing. And that is just not the case anymore. And so I really want to push against and really continue the conversation around what is most aligned for you. Now, for our client that we are helping him create his proposal for submitting to traditional publishers, great, because that is what he feels like he needs. And guess what? On the back end, he's already working on another book that he, quote, really wants to write in his own words. And that is going to be self-published because he knows he will have much more liberties and freedom and frankly, royalties to go and share that through the self-publishing route. And guess what? We're going to support him across the entire process. So it's really interesting as we feel into this. And I want to be clear that my, sharing of my earnings, it's not that every single month, this is what I make. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less for self-publishing. But what I want you to know is that I feel much more energized and I get much more excited when I see those royalty earnings than when I see my traditionally published. So I always just get curious when people are like, oh, I'm not sure. I've just always thought that I had to traditionally publish. Then we get to have fun conversations around that alignment piece and what's going to make the most sense for what people want to do. The truth of the matter is traditional publishing is not going to market your book any differently than if you self-publish. You are going to basically be the marketer for both situations. And so it's really just a matter of feeling your way forward of what is going to support you. What are your goals? What are your intentions? What is the book like? How is it supporting other avenues and prospects? So the people that we tend to work with and the work that I do when I'm writing and publishing my books is that I want to connect with more people. I want to, if one person kind of gets a different perspective about writing from reading a book that I've published or something I've published, then amazing, great. And if that brings them, maybe we wind up working together or we do some collaborative networking thing. That is my intention, is to grow and expand and deepen my impact and yes, my income. And for me personally, I have had a better experience, a more diverse experience, a more abundant experience when I have gone through the self-publishing process. And so I just want to share that to continue the conversation. I want people to ask questions about this. I am just realizing now I would love to get a traditional publisher on here and just talk through the process a little bit more. It's a faster process when you self-publish. You have all the copyrights. We have someone that's dear to me. I won't reveal exactly who it is, but they're actually getting their book that was traditionally published. They're actually getting it back right now from the publisher because it basically did nothing for anybody in the whole process of traditionally publishing. And so she's taken it back and basically getting her contract canceled so that she can self-publish and actually get the book out there because it is a damn good book and people need to hear it and read it. So it's just really interesting to think about all the different implications. And I'm excited for the world of publishing and what people are doing in it. And I want people to just get educated no matter what they choose. I want them to really feel like they have all the ins and outs and understandings of what the differences are. And again, really coming back and feeling into that alignment. This is a quick episode. I've just been energized lately around this conversation. It's been something that my team and I have been talking about. It's been something that as I've talked to people who are just really like, I've got a book. I'm like, yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. And if your goal is to help it support things that you're already doing, as a thought leader, as a teacher, as a coach, as a business owner, then I really want you to feel into the alignment and the support which is going to support you the best. And that's the route that you really need to go. I want to hear from you. As always, drop comments around this, share this episode, and feel free to tag me or send me a message over on Instagram at @ShaynaHartman_. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Written Compass. If you are enjoying this content, do me a favor and go and review the podcast. This allows me to share and get these messages out to the people who really need them, who we want to read their books in the future. You can also go and share your thoughts and tag me at @ShaynaHartman_ on Instagram. Again, this is just a way for us to get connected and share the writing love. And if you know that you are ready to write your book, that message that's been burning inside of you for a long time, then I want to talk to you. My team and I want to talk to you. Head on over to ShaynaHartman.com and click Work with Us. From there, you'll see an application to explore and see if writing your book is your next best step.